We are getting very close to kick-off as well. The man in the middle, a very experienced referee in MLS football for more than 20 years. And the atmosphere has been building very nicely at Dignity Health Sports Park, the home of LA Galaxy in MLS. And we are approaching kick-off very shortly indeed. Some of these Arsenal and Bayern players will have done battle So the second game of the 2019 International Champions Cup is up and running. Arsenal in their changed new colours of yellow and black, Bayern in their familiar red. Alongside me, Rob Daly, is the former Ireland international defender, Gary Breen. Gary, this should be a fun one tonight.
Really looking forward to it. Obviously, the excitement of football season coming back, and you're getting two European powerhouses coming on. Part of the early season games, it'll be interesting to see who can look the better, who can make a mark, who can put down a real marker to start that first game of the season.
And the Arsenal fans are outnumbering their Bayern counterparts today. John Boateng, who was third choice really at centre-back last season, is behind Hummels and Niklas Zula. Led by Chambers, who is forward. Oh, and they work the 1-2 beautifully. It's in. Have Arsenal got themselves a winner? They may well have done. A lovely bit of play from the substitutes linking up, and it is suddenly Arsenal 2, Bayern 1. In terms of regular first-team football for Bayern, here is Mesut Ozil, who will know lots of these players from international duty with Germany. Mesut Ozil did not have the best of finishes last season for Arsenal. But it looks like he will be staying in North London.
He's been quite vocal in saying he wants to stay. I think the big problem he has is the wages that he's on. Doesn't enable Arsenal to strengthen the squad, which they need to do. There's key positions they have to. I'm not convinced that they need to do it in that 10 area as such, but certainly defensively they need to make improvements.
Thomas Muller, it has opened up here for Bayern a little bit, nearly into Johansson, as Fita Arp wearing number 15 was in proximity as well. It looks like Arp is playing on the left-hand side here. No, really, he is out and out centre forward, and that was certainly his position as he came through the ranks at Hamburg in Germany. Here's Aubameyang. Lacazette in the middle. Ozil, Aubameyang, lovely interchange between the pair, and the first chance of the game goes Arsenal's way. Brilliant play by them. Just breaking from deep, good link play, support from full-back areas. But you have to admire Thiago at the base of that midfield for Bayern Munich. Read the situation well, just gets across the recovery tackle. Unai Emery embarking on his second season in charge of Arsenal. We'll go all the way to the back post, but there's no one there to meet it as Arsenal went short from the corner. Lacazette, second top scorer for the Gunners last season, the man leading the line. Niko Kovac, he had a rocky spell last season. Bayern 9 points behind Dortmund at 1 point, and he's expected to win the league. That's a given for Bayern managers these days. But it was a huge vote of confidence to give him the job after the work he'd done at Eintracht Frankfurt. But he proved it well, the double winners, and you're right, it was a lot tighter than they would hope than it has been in previous seasons, of course, but that period in September to November where they only won 2 games out of 8 really put the pressure on. Dortmund were really pulling away, but they showed great character, and something that doesn't surprise you with the ability that Bayern Munich have within their squad. Arsenal, ironically, in Dortmund colours today. Aubameyang faced Bayern many times during his time in Germany, scoring 6 goals in 17 games against them. And it looks like he's out on the right of that 3 behind Lacazette with Mkhitaryan on the left. It's great about Aubameyang, he's a goal threat, but he's willing to do that shift out in that wide area. I think at times Arsenal, when they want to play 2 up front, become a bit light in midfield, and defensively they can't cope, so they have to kind of pack that area up a bit and just play the 1 up front and try and get in support of Lacazette as much as possible. Speaking of which, Lacazette gets in possession, just lost out. It's been a bright start here from Arsenal. Here's Muller. We got lucky, Thomas Muller, as he takes on Willock. Here's Art. Alaba screaming that he's going to be on the overlap in a moment. Art goes central. Touch loose with his pass there as Muller will have a pop.
That's the area.
There's another striker playing in a wide position tonight, Aubameyang. Early with the ball in towards Ozil. And then clipped away by Boateng.
It's a brilliant delivery. Ozil gambles across that near post. You can see as soon as that ball goes wide to Aubameyang, there's numbers getting in the box. Ozil gets across the front of Boateng, but just doesn't get a connection. Opportunity for Arsenal.
Maitland-Niles tries to roll that into Lacazette. Muller hunting us down. What a challenge from Socrates. Absolutely thumping from the Greek centre-back, who would have faced Muller many times during his spell with Borussia Dortmund. Maitland-Niles again. One in the middle, that is Mkhitaryan. Although I think the Armenian was going for goal.
And Arsenal can be delighted with their start. They look a real threat up front. Socrates, we talked about the difficulties Arsenal have had at the back, but he's a real fan's favourite for that type of tackle. There's an opportunity here. Breaks to Mkhitaryan. Hits across the goal, but Lacazette just can't finish it at the back post.
Bayern look rattled at the moment. Here is Tolisso. Up. Clipped out by the youngster. And he scored a couple of goals in the second. He's being touted as one of the most exciting talents in Europe. He's at the back post here. Bentleno gets there ahead of him.
That's what you want from your goalkeeper. Commanding, good early call. Comes and takes those types of crosses, just takes the pressure off.
Ozil. Led well by Kale. Playing it right back tonight. Mustafi takes control of the situation.
That's the concern when you watch Arsenal, is that as well as they started offensively, it's that defensive reliability that they struggled with, and that will be really interesting to see the work that Unai Emery has done in terms of trying to improve that, because if they want to do anything this season, Arsenal, that has to get better.
Mustafi, but we're looking a bit of trouble with that pass. Tolisso turns it over. Oh, they might be able to thread it through here too. Tolisso. Oh, and eventually Leno gets on it. Messi at the back from Arsenal. They get away with that one.
Brilliant ball by Johansson, though. Lovely, deft little flick of the outside of his boot. Nearly puts his teammate in on goal. Look at him again, the quality to drive at the Arsenal defence and that little reverse pass. Unfortunately, Tolisso just didn't have his ball. It goes a little bit and takes a bit of time to get back, more so than your fitness.
Well, it's half-time. It's been an entertaining opening 45 minutes. Best chance for Arsenal probably falling the way of Mesut Ozil. Actually had a couple of opportunities in the opening 45 minutes, denied by the goalkeeper. Leno has been forced into a few saves as well for Arsenal tonight. But they started the game very brightly, the Gunners. Bayern have felt their way into it. It's going to be interesting to see which players we will see throughout the course of the 90 minutes. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang looking like Arsenal's most dangerous player, especially on the counter-attack with that pace that Bayern know all too well from the Bundesliga. Some more to come at half-time at Dignity Health Sports Park. It's Arsenal 0, Bayern 0.
Bayern Munich know how to coach a right back, there's no doubt about that, and this young player getting an opportunity now.
Here's the one youngster in a very experienced back four. Boateng. Kale, a little drop of the shoulder to look it back to Boateng again. Hansen into Javi Martinez. who did generally play in central midfield last season.
And he's comfortable there. Centre half can play both positions, probably excelled there under Guardiola.
Alaba. Need to work it into the middle now. Hansen towards goal, away by Socrates, and swing and a miss from Kale. The Qatarian just about does enough, but now it's Arsenal feeling a little bit uncomfortable.
So refreshing. You see these young players getting their opportunity at iconic clubs like Bayern Munich and not having any fear that's driven from them. And there's an experienced players around them. You don't want to have to hold their hands. You want them to express themselves. You have to say they've certainly started confidently.
Thiago, how to bring that down. We know he's an exceptionally gifted technical midfield player, Thiago, and he's been playing slightly deeper role under Niko Kovac, in truth, looking to run the game.
Seen that a lot now throughout Europe, aren't we, for the big clubs. The likes of Silva, De Bruyne at Manchester City, flair players sitting deeper to real control of the game.
Back by Alaba, here is Thiago again. Tolisso. They'll lose that from one of the number of World Cup winners out involved today.
Talk about young players at Bayern Munich. Be interested to see how young Joe Willock does a holding midfield role. So talking about Xhaka being the captain, at times I think it's difficult playing alongside him. He's not the most disciplined in that central midfield area, so a young player's got to read situations. Xhaka's skill, like Thiago, he's getting on the ball and trying to get Arsenal to play, not necessarily in terms of his defensive responsibilities. That early area, that back post, like I said, wanted to get across him, but he couldn't. He knew the young defender was in a good position.
And Aubameyang breaks forward like that. It's actually hard for his teammates to catch up.
He's so quick, he really is. That's the frustration at times, that you want him to play through the middle where he'd be in on goal.
Back heel from Aubameyang. Bayern haven't cleared this properly. Maitland-Niles. Here's Xhaka. Qatarian takes on his man. Kel does very well and wins the throw-in too. So no Lucas Torreira as well right now for Arsenal, because he's been playing at the Copa America for Uruguay. Alex Iwobi and Mohamed El-Neni, African Cup of Nations duty for them. Been a sort of disjointed summer for many international players with so many competitions going on.
Yeah, I think long gone are the days where you have 5 or 6 weeks off. At this level now, invariably you'll be playing international football, 3 weeks at best. But it is difficult for a manager. You want to get a settled team so you can start that season well. But I think they're just used to it now. I think this is just the way football has gone.
It's part of the reason as well that Alphonso Davies, the Lacazette in the middle. Ozil, Aubameyang, lovely interchange between the pair. And the first chance of the game goes Arsenal's way.
Brilliant play by them.
Bayern winger, picked up in January, came back from holidays early, having played at the Gold Cup with Canada.
But what it does give is an opportunity for these young players now. They'll get an opportunity, the manager will say, well listen, impress me, can you stay in and amongst the squad, can you do enough? It's up to them.
Worked back by Nacho Monreal. Willock. Ozil. Maitland-Niles. Aubameyang. Slightly more central position here.
Into that central area.
There's another striker playing in a wide position tonight, Aubameyang. early with the ball in towards Ozil, and then clipped away.
See what you want from your goalkeeper. Commanding, good early call, comes and takes those types of crosses, just takes...
That pass, Tolisso turns it over. Oh, they might be able to thread it through here too, Tolisso. Oh, and eventually Leno gets on it. Messi at the back from Arsenal, they get away with that one.
Brilliant.
Bayern defending comfortably.
Yeah, they're relaxed about the fact that Ozil's dropping so deep to get on the ball. They're happy to let him have it in the 4 area. They know that he's not really going to hurt them from that position. Look at the setup of this Bayern Munich team, so organised, 4-5-1 out of possession and make it difficult for Arsenal. No surprise that Arsenal got their joy against Bayern, breaking early and not allowing Bayern to get set.
Well, we know Xhaka likes to shoot, and it wasn't a million miles away from the former Gladbach player. Unai Emery, 3-time Europa League winner as head coach at Sevilla. Of course, left PSG just over a year ago to take the job at Arsenal. He was on his way out anyway.
Listen, it's a big call to be given the job at Arsenal in terms of replacing Wenger, the iconic manager. And certainly Arsenal is the type of club that would interest the majority of their managers in the world. But there's no doubt in the fact that it was an unbalanced, underperforming squad, and it is essentially a bigger job than I'm sure many people thought.
Wolpe and Arsenal throw in. It's going to be interesting. 3 weeks left to the Premier League transfer window to see exactly what Arsenal do. Momentum gathering on a Dani Ceballos loan deal from Real Madrid. Roy Hodgson has said that the offer for Wilfried Zaha well below the expected value for him.
Well, this is the frustration that you're seeing from the Arsenal supporters in terms of their anger. They want to be expansive, they want to be in control of the ball, but as soon as the turnover's forced, they look vulnerable.
On the money, as you'd expect from Thiago.
But this looked Bayern breaking 2v2.
Brilliant ball from Arp. Muller's in the middle here, and he tries to dummy it. I think Thomas Muller really probably should have just had a go himself here. Arp has picked up the ball once again after that lovely bit of work in the centre circle to get Bayern moving.
That will concern Emery straight away, that Bayern Munich are able to go from the length of one pitch to the other, and they essentially got a 2v2 before the cavalry come back to recover. But that's a concern about